Right then, it's a quick walk around video for a really fabulous Lexus CT200. This is the SEL model, covered just 46,000 miles from new, and has had just one owner. Finished in this lovely sort of ice blue metallic with a light leather interior. Lovely combination, very sought after, and the car is in beautiful condition. Go around the car for you. Front of the car, lights and lenses are completely clear and intact, no cracks, no condensation. Bonnet is exceptionally clean. Can't see any obvious stone chips that jump out to me at all. And down the near side, beautifully smooth in the paddles. Again, can't see any obvious indentations there at all. Again, we've just washed the car off, it's not been polished. It's just got a very, very natural gleam, even after 11 years or so. Very, very, very smart, this car. And the back, again, bumper corners are lovely and clean there. Passenger side, oh sorry, driver's side even, offside. Again, lovely and smooth in the panels. No car parking dents or dinks or anything. I think on this age, it's very hard pressed to find a nicer example. Not to say there isn't going to be the odd minor blemish that the camera just doesn't pick up on or I can't quite spot, but cracking me, that is very, very clean indeed. Coming into the back of the car now, as you'd expect of a Lexus, beautifully finished interior on the boot area here. It's been kept very, very well indeed. Coming to the back of the car now, this is where kids generally sit. It is a family car ultimately. But the back of the car is absolutely stunningly clean. The leatherwork looks as though it's hardly ever been used. On the passenger side at the front, full set of obviously original Lexus tailored mats. Passenger seat there again in absolutely beautiful condition. Finally coming to the driver's door, again very, very nice indeed. Footwear is lovely and clean. Driver's seat, really nice. Just the tiniest bit of wear on the bolsters you get in and out, but honestly, minuscule by comparison to most. Inside the car now, engine's running as always, so dashboard can be seen illuminated. What an absolutely stunning interior this is. Still rated so highly. Just to quickly show you, by the way, the last owner had a sat-nav which has been left in the car, so that comes with it. We haven't checked it, but it is in there. Coming to the dashboard binnacle, and hopefully you can see 46,445 miles, and that's the display you get when you're in eco normal mode. If I twist it to the right, you go into sport mode, red background, rev counter magically appears and looks utterly fantastic. Finally, just to show you, owner's manual pack and lock and wheel nut key, all here and present with the car. Right then, this is a quick road test video, and this is for a Lexus CT200 hybrid, and it's the SEL model. Car's registered KV12EOP, and with a mileage of just 46,446 recorded. The reason we do all of our videos, and especially this road test section, is to ensure that if anyone's online looking at any of our cars, they get to see the very car advertised actually in operation. The reason we've always felt it important is because, like loads of people, we've been to see cars which have looked absolutely fine in photographs or description, but then you get there and find out it's got an obvious fault that shows up when you drive it, so that's why we do it. Also, we do the road test on these lovely quiet country roads in this beautiful part of Gloucestershire, and this actually forms part of the road test route we take our customers on, and the reason being that we hope it'll be representative of what you feel yourself should you be offered a test drive in the car. So coming to the car, as you know from the advert, it's got wonderful ownership, one owner from new, full Lexus service history right up to the one we've just done, and it's just flown through an MOT as well, so the car is in fantastic order and drives beautifully as you'd expect. Press the power button, the car starts generally silently, and then you enter the world of wizardry as far as I'm concerned. It's a self-charging hybrid, so basically you drive, run and own the car like a normal petrol car. There is no range anxiety. You're not going to run low on fuel, run low on battery or run out of battery, that kind of thing. The only thing you're ever going to do is come to petrol station, stand at a petrol pump for 2 minutes, top up and on your way again. It is as simple as that. The car determines what it needs to do. You've got a little display on the dashboard here telling you what's going on at any given time, but the changes are all but seamless. When the battery's coming in, when it's replenishing the battery, it is absolute genius. It really is. It works so well together. It's very quiet, very refined. You have 3 engine options, but in terms of modes, it generally starts in normal mode. A power meter or eco meter, whatever, on the left hand side. Twist it to the left, I'm now in eco mode, so even more economical. So the throttle response feels softer, more lethargic in some ways. It's actually quite a nice one for going around town in, because it's more battery use as well, where you don't need the performance. Other than that, just press a button again, go back to normal, or twist it to the right. Dashboard's now changed to a lovely kind of red background. The rev has appeared, and the throttle response is markedly different. It's much keener to pick up and go. You feel it straight away. The throttle response is there straight away. It's very keen indeed. It's a lovely to drive. What's wonderful about it, because it uses a CVT gearbox, so constant variable transmission, all your manoeuvring at low speed is like an electric car. It's seamless. No jolting or jarring. There's no clumsiness where it's indecisive as to what gear to go into, because it can't. It's wonderfully smooth, and everyone that drives them are bowled over by that. It really is amazing. On the open road, the way a CVT gearbox is to keep the revs as low as possible at all given times. So at the moment, I'm 1200 RPM, so it depends on the load. But basically, if you read some of the motoring press, which honestly it makes my blood boil, they get in the car, they shove the foot down, they say, "Oh, listen to that, the engine's revving like mad," which it will do, as you would do an overtake, but instead of having a gear change to break up the noise, you don't. So put the foot down now, revs pick up, back off the throttle, you get to your speed. And it's as easy as that. It's so smooth. It's just slightly different acoustically, but that's probably 1% of your driving. Unfortunately, it's about 90% of the hooligans that drive these on test drives in terms of motoring press, because they really want to be sat in Ferraris and thrashing around 100 miles an hour, but that's by the by. But it's a wonderful piece of engineering, absolutely brilliant. There are, of course, no warning lights on the dashboard at all relating to the engine or any other part of the car. Brakes, incidentally, absolutely fantastic on the car. No pulsing, no vibrations coming back through the brake pedal. It's all in fine fettle there as well. Coming to the steering and the chassis, always continue to say that the thing I love about the CVT, always have done, is that it's got a really positive front end. It's really keen, and the steering is very much part of that, because as soon as you're changing direction, slightest move on the steering wheel, it's going, but in a very controlled way. It's not nervous, it's really nicely weighted, but it's really positive. And the front of the car, the chassis of the car, keeps up with it wonderfully well. It's a really good fun car to drive, actually. It feels light on its feet, athletic, but at the same time, if you're not in the mood, it's very comfortable, very compliant. The suspension's set up very nicely, to compromise between giving you sort of keen handling, but also not being over hard. I've owned loads of these and loved them. I have to say, I think it just strikes a lovely balance. And incidentally, absolutely no rattles or clumps from the suspension at all as tight as a drum. Tight as a drum. And then finally coming inside, which again, if you've seen any of my previous CT200 videos, you'll know that I am hopeless in describing how I feel about the interiors, because it's so, I just love it. The best way to describe it is, unlike some cars when you read the brochure blurb from the manufacturer, they all talk about cockpit feel where you sit inside the car, you're at one as a driver, and generally it's complete nonsense. It's just the same layout you're going to get in any car. But there is something very special about these, and I think it's to do with a multitude of things. But your driving position is absolutely perfect. It's dead easy to get a really comfortable driving position. You sit down into the car. You've got quite a high centre console here, which again makes you feel very much in the vehicle. But it's the subtlety, sort of the detailing of all the switch gear, and the stitching around here on the leather work. It is a very special interior. You do feel in a cockpit. You do feel a modern car, unlike, as I said, the others. All working beautifully. Of course, you've got heated seats. You've got dual zone climate control, which is pumping out absolutely ice cold air. Then you come up to the main dash binnacle, which is where you can configure slightly differently if you want to. But the detailing, the backlighting, it's all just beautifully done. Lexus do these things absolutely superbly. And then you got this wonderful, nice sort of thick rim leather bound steering wheel, which was absolutely fantastic on hand as well. Enjoy this car, and it's been beautifully looked after. Whoever gets it next is going to be a very lucky bunny indeed. I can't fault it in any way. Drives perfectly.